What's going on, everybody? This is Josh Barnett with FreeForGeeks.com, the senior games editor, and I'm here with Chuck Nally, senior staff writer Andrew Boone.
Hi there.
We're here talking about E3 2014. Microsoft just came down with their press briefing. What'd you guys feel?
It was fantastic. A lot of what happened last year had to do with the multifacets of the Xbox One, the entertainment, some of the games. This was all games, and there was a ton of them. That was all impressive.
Yeah, I feel like it was a real smart idea to come out with all games all the time.
Oh yeah.
Just ignore TV, ignore all the DRM talk, having to talk about what they changed.
Right.
Andrew, this is your first real E3 experience, right?
Yes, chaos, and I was trying to keep up, and it was awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, I thought Microsoft was really smart. They had Phil Spencer out on stage, the new head of Xbox. He came out just talking games. They covered everything from indies with ID at Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
They covered exclusives. They covered from Halo to Assassin's Creed, The Division, everything. For me, the big takeaway, I think, is that Microsoft did a great job at getting exclusive content. You look at almost every one of those trailers, and they had first on Xbox or exclusive content on Xbox.
Beta access.
Yeah, they got very, very smart, and they know that what you got to do to differentiate yourself in this console war that's going on is you have to have exclusive content, even if it's just timed. That is a big deal. People want that. Call of Duty has been big for them in a long time, and that's what helps.
Yeah.
One game. What do you think was like the biggest game for you out of this conference?
Man, I was very impressed with Sunset Overdrive, the Insomniac Studios game.
Like Dead Rising meets Infamous meets Ratchet and Clank
meets Jet Set Radio. I mean, there's all kinds
meets
of
drugs.
Yeah, it was awesome. Super colorful. They introduced it first with like a 5-minute CG trailer, which was really cool. Like when that dude shot that guy in the face and like the blood spelled out "ouch."
Broke the fourth wall. That was cool.
Yeah, breaking the fourth wall and just like casually shooting monsters in the face, and then it went into the gameplay, which was super fast. Looked super fun, very bright, vibrant colors. Yeah, very smooth.
Yeah, he was switching weapons really fast. Like
All the freeze gun was cool to see.
All the crazy like environmental stuff that he did when he jumped on the trampoline and it set off the fireworks that lit all the enemies around him on fire.
Yeah, the Chinese fireworks stuff.
Yeah,
that was cool.
set him up. Oh man, that game was so much fun.
Yeah,
all the way down the roller coaster.
Yeah, that was cool too. Yeah, and all the there's just a ton of enemies just randomly walking around, almost as many as say like a Dead Rising or something. But
yeah, which they clearly had some inspiration there in terms of like the hordes of enemies.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that was absolutely fantastic. It's going to sell a lot of systems.
And be careful about your energy drinks, folks. Don't turn into a
might
mutant.
cause the apocalypse.
Don't turn into a mutant.
Yeah, I was actually worried they were only going to show that CG trailer for a while. I'm very glad that they decided.
Yeah, especially
to show
since
that.
it's coming out in October.
Yeah, it's early. Did they actually release a date? I didn't see.
October 28th, I believe.
October is so busy
Yeah,
for games.
Yeah, it is.
Andrew, what'd you think? What was
Number
your game?
one. I mean, it's their bestseller, Call of Duty, Advanced Warfare.
They started the conference again with it, like they do almost every year.
Start off with your big ones, I guess. It's just, I mean,
That's
Advanced
how I like
Warfare.
to
It's
do
just, I mean, that's always been for me. It's kind of been like the story first, and like they're kind of. It feels like they're trying to go back to kind of the campaign, given a good campaign. I mean, online for Call of Duty has always been fantastic, but I mean. We saw some sweet new looking grenades, like a heat-seeking grenade where you're cycling through all sorts of stuff and like you basically see infrared enemies and ripping corridors off and some.
That was cool.
The futuristic gun with like the digital number of ammo, that was really neat.
Yeah, I really liked the NPC player like ripping the car door off and using it like a riot shield. That was awesome.
Oh, your character did it too. I don't know if you saw it or not.
No,
yeah, he just ripped it right off.
I was typing away for our little live blog going on. I missed some of the content.
Yeah, and he was using it to shield like the swarm of like drones or whatever.
Yeah.
It's really freaking cool looking.
Yeah, I was most surprised probably by Call of Duty because I very publicly am not a big Call of Duty fan, but I'm probably buying that game.
And Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey
he'll
helps
bring in
with everything. That like the swarm of drones like you were talking about, it almost looked like it was something out of the third Matrix movie where it was just like forming one kind of hive mind attack that just looked awesome. Didn't look like Call of Duty at all.
Yeah.
Very Titanfall inspired. You feel like that display when they're in that drop pod at the very beginning, it looked like it was all the screens that turned into one window type thing, very much like the Titan setup that you have. You could tell that they knew futuristic is where they needed to go to keep up with
and the ending,
the popularity.
The ending was cool. The little trailer they show when
the
character you are is
Call of Duty has
arm is ripped off.
Yeah.
Gone.
He's a righty for sure.
He'll need help tinkling, that's for sure.
True story. I think for me, my biggest takeaway is a game I had no idea was coming out called Scalebound from Platinum Games. Mm-hmm. People who don't know, Platinum Games did Metal Gear Rising Revengeance last year, but they've also done Bayonetta. They did the Wonderful 101 for the Wii U. They are a very cool, very Japanese company. This reminds me of probably their best game, which is Xenoblade Saga or Xenoblade Chronicles, rather, for the Wii, which is just a giant scale action game, kind of JRPG, but more action based. This game, even though it was like a CG trailer, the concept behind it was just awesome. It looked like this futuristic meld of fantasy and sci-fi. Like the human character was very much like he put on his Beats headphones or whatever they were, started attacking these giant dragons, cutting heads off, and then out of nowhere he just launches into air and his whole body gets covered with these like rock-like scales, and then he starts riding the dragon that he's been fighting and turns it on this giant Hydra monster, and it looks like they started teasing some multiplayer cooperative gameplay there.
Yeah, that's the question I have.
Man.
Because there's like 4 or 5 other dragons like with riders on them coming out of the background as he rides in.
Really, this is going to be How to Train Your Dragon 3.
I'm okay with that.
What it seemed like to me, at least, the giant
Starring
dragon.
Butler.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm okay with all this.
I mean, he was there, right? So he's in the first 2. Yeah, Scalebound, like, that came out of nowhere for me. But the one thing that we all predicted, that we knew was going to be there, was tons of Halo talk. It's Microsoft's biggest franchise. It's always going to be Microsoft's biggest franchise. Not only did they announce Halo 5 Guardians and show some really cool kind of teaser footage of that, more CG than anything else, but they officially announced the Halo Master Chief Collection. Mm-hmm. First time you can play Halo 1, 2, 3, and 4 all on the same console for the Xbox One, obviously exclusively.
All on one disc.
And it's all unlocked.
One single disc, yeah. You can do
start
whatever you
wherever
want
you want.
anytime. Comes with 4,000 achievement points. Like
They
kind of hit all of the talking points there. They redid a few levels for Halo 2's multiplayer, which is in its entirety, in its original intact state, which is the biggest thing.
Yeah, dual-wielding needlers.
One needler, one SMG. Come on.
I went over
Dude, just a pink cloud of death. That's what I want.
That was the first time the needler became a useful
viable.
weapon. So
yes.
yeah. But man, those 4 games, they are what built Microsoft's platform right now. You know, you look at them and then you look at the 360, and even though it wasn't there, Gears of War, they showed a real quick logo at the very end in their sizzle reel, but those 2 franchises are the big ones, and Halo is in a big way on the Xbox One. You know, we're going to see that Nightfall DLC add-on leading into what Halo 5 is going to be, which is, I think they said December for that prequel. Big news. Big things from Microsoft.
Yeah, it was good. A solid A+ out of them for this conference for sure.
Something they desperately needed. The company's been doing well. The Xbox has been selling great, but there's still that mind share problem of Sony sold 2 million more consoles in the same amount of time.
Right.
They need to make up ground, even though they're selling record numbers. So I think that's a big conference for them. Any final takeaways, you guys?
Very excited. I mean, some of the trailers that aren't going to be exclusive to the console, they got to show off first, like Tomb Raider. And, you know, some of the other ones, but like, man, that Tomb Raider
so excited
was sick. Assassin's Creed.
Co-op Assassins.
Dude,
yeah, that was
sure.
Four assassins at one time.
That was really cool looking.
I think I'm the biggest Assassin's Creed fan, and everybody was on board for Assassin's Creed after seeing that.
Yep.
It was pretty awesome.
On PS4.
On Xbox One.
But we're probably going to be talking about The Division and Assassin's Creed a little bit later when Ubisoft comes up. Speaking of which, make sure you come back and check out the rest of our discussions as well as our live blogs on free4geeks.com. Say it with me, free, the number 4geeks.com. With all the E3 2014 coverage. Keep it locked here.